Look who's with us. Leslie Marshall, nationally syndicated talk show host. Now, we're just breaking this news. This is just happening. Looks to me like Mr. Ellison, Congressman Ellison, will resign from Congress if he's elected chair of the DNC. And he will be elected to chair the DNC. Now, he's way out there on the left. I mean, the man as far left as you can possibly get and still remain in a democracy. How do you feel about this, if he chairs the party apparatus?
Well, I have to tell you, I'm one of those Democrats that said Democrats should move a bit closer to center to appeal to other Americans, as we saw when we're looking at the exit polls in the last election. The problem is what we're seeing is this revolution that Senator Sanders started is very, very strong. I have to tell you, Stuart. And when we look, a lot of people that stayed home were unhappy with the movement toward the middle of the Democratic Party. And so I think what they're betting on is going forward, the millennials in the future of the Democratic Party, moving further to the left and appeasing this segment of the population. And as for Congressman Ellison, I honestly think if you're DNC chair or RNC chair, that should be your job and your only job.
Fair enough. But do you approve of the party being dragged like this, way out there to the left? Let me explain what happened in Britain. After the Brexit vote, or just before it, as a matter of fact, the British Labour Party ousted their leader and brought in someone who is in the way out on the fringes of the left. The man is a communist, basically. You can't get the Labour Party elected a dog catcher in England if you had that position available for an election. The same thing is true in the United States. You cannot possibly have the far left running a major political party and expect it to win any election. I would have thought you would have been dismayed at this news about Mr. Ellison, but you're not.
Well, I'm not dismayed at the news because I saw what happened, with the Bernie boom, if you will, and Bernie or bust movement, which largely impacted this election when you just look at the numbers of those people that stayed home or voted for Gary Johnson or Jill Stein. I don't think that going forward, that's the best way to go. We see more Americans are fiscally conservative, and that's certainly not where Democrats are. But quite frankly, Stuart, if this is the way Democrats have to win going forward, then I guess I got to suck it up as a Democrat, although this would not be my option.
Do you really think that a Democrat party led by Keith Ellison can win?
I don't think that it's based on who's leading the DNC, quite frankly. I really don't. I think it's based on not just the candidate, but the message and really appealing to the will of the people, which we saw was the segment of the middle class, the working class, the blue-collar population, and their concern about jobs and the economy. That's what it came down to.
You might want to consider leaving the party, because the party has left you. But that's just an opinion, okay? Now, the Democrats are they've got a choice. The Democrats can actually vote to allow the nomination to go forward of General Mattis as Defense Secretary, or they can vote against it, and if they vote against it, they shut down the government. That's a kind of an odd position for Democrats to be in at this moment, isn't it?
It is, but I really think that Republicans were foolish to put the Democrats in this position. As you know, Stuart, at least the polls show the last two times the GOP used the government shutdown as a threat, in a sense saying, hey, give us what we want or else. It didn't really help them with the American people, and Congress certainly has very low approval ratings now.
The Republicans got the blame for shutting down the government. This time, the blame, if there is any, for shutting down the government will go to the Democrats.
I don't think it'll be viewed that way, and this is why. Although a lot of people know this was a very...
that the Democrats can say no to a very popular general to be the defense secretary, say no to that, and yes, shut down the government. Oh, and no blame attaches to the Democrats. They'll walk away from this scot-free. Really?
I didn't say scot-free, but no, I don't think the majority of blame would go on the Democrats, and this is why. They're not saying no to the general. What they're saying is no to having a special circumstance attached to a budget bill for this one individual only. And this is one of the problems and concerns of even people who voted for Trump is what is this going to be going forward? Are we going to constantly have rules that are broken and my way or the highway? That's not very palatable to Americans, even many who voted for the president-elect.
Only time will tell. Of course, you're never supposed to say that as a journalist, but I do believe only time will tell. Leslie, thanks as always for being with us. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve.